What's good? It's Extreme Caution here. Today I'm going to be going over the official WrestleMania 41 card. I'm going to give away all my predictions, all my thoughts and opinions on the build of each match, and who I think is going to win each match on the WrestleMania 41 card. I'm actually excited for this year's WrestleMania, unlike most people who have been complaining about it. But me personally, I think some of the complaints are a little bit overreacting, and I think some of the criticisms they get is a bit unfair. But I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into the predictions. The first match on the card, we're going to start off with night one, we're going to start off with War Raiders versus the New Day. Now, I will say this. The build towards this match has been a little bit lackluster, and it kind of feels rushed, and I kind of don't understand why this is on the, well, I know why it's on the Mania card. This is really on the Mania card due to Big E and them turning on Big E. If the New Day were baby faces in this situation, they would not be on the Mania card. It's kind of unfortunate because I feel like the tag team that should be on the Mania card should be the SmackDown tag team, which is the Street Profits. I feel like they deserve it more than the New Day due to their booking, because SmackDown tag team division has been really good, where the Raw has been very non-existent for the most part. I will say this should be very obvious. The New Day should win. The New Day should win. You cannot have them do this big heel turn, them turning on Big E, and them not winning the tag team titles. I've been saying for the longest that they should win the titles at Mania. I've been saying it for the longest. Now, the way we got here was a bit, just going to be honest, lackluster. It's been lackluster. Their heel turn has been trash, complete garbage. Hopefully it could change with them winning the titles, but they should definitely win the titles here. Even though this is not a Mania match, the match itself should be good. I think the match will be an absolute banger, and this probably would open night one, or maybe not, but this match nonetheless should be really good. But I have the New Day and going to be the one to be your new WWE World Tag Team Champs. I think they're called the World Tag Team titles on Raw, but yeah, they should be your new World Tag Team titles, Tag Team Champions. Now, speaking of tag team titles and tag team champions, I'm going to speak about this SmackDown match that's supposed to happen on the Go Home show of WrestleMania 41 between the Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns, because I actually think that all the tag teams on SmackDown will be on the Mania card, because it just doesn't make sense for them to completely revive the SmackDown's tag team division. And they put so much energy and effort into the SmackDown tag team division. They even had the Bloodline at one point in this division. The fact that they did all of that work for them not to be on the Mania card just seems very confusing to me. So I think they will make it on the card due to what happened last week. Because last week we had a segment with Mello and Miz talking to the Street Profits. Then we had another segment with DIY and Motor City Machine Guns. I think this is going to end in shenanigans, because I don't think the Street Profits are going to beat Motor City Machine Guns cleanly, because Motor City Machine Guns is a tag team that is booked very strong. They don't lose, and when they have lost, I think every loss they have is due to interference. They haven't lost cleanly. So I just don't see the Street Profits winning cleanly. So I think there's going to be some type of shenanigans where Mello and Miz interfere, or DIY interfere. Then it's going to come to maybe Los Garza comes out as well, and then they're going to just make this a multi-man tag team match at WrestleMania. That's what I think is going to happen. I'm not sure, but that is my prediction. I do think the SmackDown champions, the Street Profits, will make it on the card, and I think the rest of the SmackDown tag division will make it on the card as well. Now, this is going to be shocking, but we're going to get one of the matches that I am the most excited for on this card, and this is a hot take. I actually think this is the best built match on this card. Jade and Naomi. This build has been phenomenal. I did not expect this to be built the way it has been, because I didn't think this feud was gonna be as good as it was, because we all wanted the Jade and Bianca feud. But man, I am loving this Naomi heel turn. She has done great work. I was never the biggest fan of Naomi, but her as a heel has been cooking. I've been loving it. I wish they would have got more TV time. I'm gonna be honest, because people was talking about Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and and fucking Bianca should be the main event of night one. This deserves the main event over them, outside of the star power. I understand Io, Rhea, and Bianca have the star power, but from a story perspective, it deserves it more. But this has been great. Of course, Naomi attacking Jade getting her payback at Elimination Chamber. This has been really good. I really enjoyed it. It's very unfortunate because I want Naomi to win this match. I think she actually kind of needs the victory to a degree, but Jade kind of needs it as well, because Jade is supposed to be like this next big superstar, but she hasn't really shown that yet. But Naomi just turned heel, so it's like, do you really want her to lose as a heel? But typically heels lose anyway. But I'm going with Jade Cargill. I've been saying it for weeks now. I've been saying it since she attacked Naomi that Jade was going to win this match. It only makes sense for Jade to get her revenge, get her big moment at WrestleMania, and then move on for Naomi to eventually be in the main event scene. probably, going after Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair, depending on who wins that match, or maybe go after the mid-card championship. Who knows? But I have Jade Cargill beating Naomi. Now we got LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. I'm not going to really discuss this match because there really isn't a build. Now, there's a little history between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu because LA Knight does have a bit of history in the bloodline, and he was a bit in the bloodline vortex for a few months after losing his United States Championship. So there's a bit history there, but for the most part, this was put together last minute. I have Jacob Fatu winning. There's really no reasoning here. It's just that it doesn't make sense for Jacob to lose because Jacob don't lose. He doesn't lose matches. He just don't. And when he does lose, there's always some type of shenanigans. And plus, you could easily have shenanigans in this match. You could easily have the bloodline interfere, helping Jacob win, even though he doesn't need that. But I just think it's time. I don't think you put Jacob, this guy you've been building up as this unstoppable force, in his first title match and have him lose. It just don't make sense. You got to have Jacob Fatu win this match. Now, what does LA Knight do after this? I don't know. You may, because him going after the U.S. title picture, I'm just not interested. Maybe just put him in the main event scene. Make him go after the world title. Maybe they do what is the draft? Maybe put him on Raw, because I don't know what you do with him if he loses the title, because you can easily tell a story with Jacob. The story is easy with Jacob, especially with him being a heel. There's a bunch of baby faces you could face, where with LA Knight, I don't know who would face. You could easily tell the story with Jacob Fatu, Solo being jealous that he brought championship gold to the fan. There's a story you could tell with Jacob. LA Knight, there's really not anything you could do with him if he retains. So I have Jacob Fatu, and he will be your new United States champion. Now we get Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, and man, this build has been atrocious, man. And the funny thing is, this build has been bad, but it's so bad that it's actually entertaining. Like, due to that one terrible promo segment between the two, it actually got fans actually caring about this segment. But it's actually crazy because Charlotte Flair, of course, is the heel in the situation, which is very ironic because they try to make her the babyface originally. This build has been terrible, but I am interested in the match. The match should be a banger between Tiffany and Charlotte. This one is very iffy because you typically would go with the up and coming new star in Tiffany Stratton to win. But if history has shown us anything, that Charlotte Flair is going to win this championship. I'm sorry, I can't bet against Charlotte. Just based off her history alone, it seems like she's going to win. And plus, Charlotte Flair has been mentioning breaking her father's record multiple times during this WrestleMania build. She has been constantly mentioning her breaking her father's record. She has constantly mentioned that. Something tells me she's winning this match. I just can't see it. At first I thought Tiffany was the clear winner, but given Charlotte Flair's history, I think they're going to pull the trigger. And plus, the fact that she won the Rumble off of the injury as well just kind of tells me that she's winning it. She's winning it. She's going to win this match. And yeah, because I don't know what you do. Well, yeah, because I don't know what you do with Tiffany Stratton if she wins this match. Because yeah, she gets kind of elevated by beating Charlotte. But who goes after her after winning this? Especially if you're going to make her a babyface. Whereas a heel, even though people would hate the decision of Charlotte winning, you could do a lot with a heel Charlotte due to her being so hated. Where Tiffany is kind of iffy because it's like she's a heelish character, but she's playing a babyface role. So it's like, it's very weird. And where Charlotte, she's the clear heel, and whoever you put her against, she's going to be booed. She's going to be booed. So it's perfect for Charlotte. I have Charlotte Flair being your new WWE's Women's Champion. I don't hate the decision like most people would, because I don't hate Charlotte like most fans. I understand why fans hate her, but I don't hate her as much. I think she gets think she gets a bit too much hate, but I understand the reasons why people hate Charlotte. But I have Charlotte Flair winning this match, even though Tiffany probably should win, but I have Charlotte Flair becoming your new WWE Women's Champion. Now we get Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. This match, I don't understand why it's on the Mania card. I really don't. But the story is basically El Grande Americano is disrespecting, luchador, heritage. He's disrespecting, the history of luchadors, of him being a fake luchador because they think it's Chad Gable, which we all know it's Chad Gable, but that's the story they're playing, which I like the story. I just don't think it's a WrestleMania match. But this is very obvious. I think, even though I think Chad Gable should win this match, Rey Mysterio is winning. He's winning. Rey Mysterio is someone who wins matches that he shouldn't be winning, in my opinion. But he's gonna win this match. He's gonna get his comeuppance. He's gonna be the babyface that overcomes the odds, that finally put it in. Because he's the one defending luchadors as the greatest luchador of all time. And I think after the match, he's going to finally reveal that it was Chad Gable the whole entire time. And then after this, Chad Gable is going to be what he's been for majority of his career, which is a loser. He's going to go back to being a loser as he was the past few months. So that's it. Rey Mysterio is going to beat a Grande Americano. Now we get the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso versus Gunther. This feud had a very rocky start because they was doing a very repetitive thing where they constantly just have Gunther constantly attack Jey Uso. But the ending of the feud, mainly with Gunther attacking Jimmy Uso, the involvement of Jimmy, him tying Jey Uso to the rope, that was great. Jey Uso has to win this match. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Jey Uso has to win. It is the only option, because if Gunther wins, as much as I love Gunther, that is the dumbest decision ever. I just don't understand why Gunther will win, especially based off the story that they've been telling of Jey Uso can't get the job done because he isn't good enough. That's the story that they've been telling the entire time, that he needs to prove that he can actually be a single star and actually win the big one. That's the story they've been telling for the longest time. So he has to win this match. Also, too, Gunther does not benefit from beating Jey Uso at all. Like, he doesn't benefit at all. We already see Gunther as a main event guy, as a top heel. Jey Uso needs the victory because he needs to prove to himself that he is a top guy. That's what Jey Uso needs to prove. Because we know Jey Uso could win a mid-card title, but he has not won the big one yet. That's what Jey Uso needs. So Jey Uso needs to win this match. I don't really need to go that in depth on this particular feud. I enjoy what they've done with the feud, but yeah, Jey Uso most definitely needs to win this match. He most definitely needs to win because he's the only one that elevates. He gets elevated if he wins. Gunther doesn't elevate at all. But I have Jey Uso become your new World Heavyweight Champion. Now we get the triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. This is very interesting because this can go in multiple ways. The main story here is really Paul Heyman. That's the main thing about this, is Paul Heyman. Who is he going to align himself with? Can Roman and Punk trust Paul Heyman? Is Paul Heyman going to choose sides? Now, some people are thinking that due to Seth Rollins' promo last week that Paul Heyman is going to walk out with Seth, but I don't think that's the case. This is very interesting because it seems like Paul Heyman is going to be walking out with, CM Punk. That's going to play a factor into it because Roman is going to be he's going to feel some type of way because Roman, that's his wise man. So he's going to feel, mad that Punk is getting in between him and his wise man. Roman may feel betrayed by Paul Heyman. This is going to be very interesting. Seth Rollins is going to be in the mix, playing mind games between Punk and Roman with Paul Heyman as well. So this is going to be very interesting. I thought long and hard about this. Originally, I thought Punk was going to be the winner of this match. I actually think it's going to be Seth Rollins that wins this match due to Paul Heyman. I think the rift between Roman and Punk and Paul Heyman is going to cost them the match because they're going to be too focused bickering at each other, going back and forth over, the love of Paul Heyman. So, now, I don't think Paul Heyman is going to purposely cost either of them the match. I think it's going to be accidental. I think it's going to be a moment where Paul Heyman is like confronting or supporting CM Punk. Roman gets jealous. He tries to attack Punk, but then out of nowhere, Seth Rollins used that opportunity to curb stop Roman, because I do think Roman is taking a pin here. And then Seth Rollins pins Roman or some sort. It's going to be some type of shenanigans where Seth Rollins takes the opportunity and picks up the victory. And then Seth Rollins on Raw can easily, constantly gloat and talk about how he beat Roman Reigns and CM Punk at the same time. That's an easy story to tell. And then you could do the story of Roman versus Punk at SummerSlam. That's what I think is going to happen, and I have Seth Rollins defeating Roman Reigns and Punk in this triple threat match. Now we get to night 2, and the first match we're going to start off with is the Women's World Heavyweight Championship between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. This match I am really excited about. I love the build that they've been doing here, even though it's a bit repetitive, but I do love the build they have doing here. The main story that they're telling is that Io Sky is being overlooked by Rhea and Bianca, and Rhea and Bianca are the main stars of this feud, which they are. That's the story they've been telling, is that Io Sky is constantly overlooked, and she's the ultimate underdog. Based on the build of this match, it seems like Io Sky has to win this match due to her constantly being overlooked, because Bianca and Rhea have not paid attention to Io Sky at all. They only been focused on each other. So I think it only makes sense for Io Sky to win. Now, do I want Io Sky to win? Absolutely not. I think she should lose this match. Well, I don't think she should lose this match. I just want her to lose because her as champion is going to be so boring. I'm sorry. It's going to be like her last championship reign, which I don't understand why fans want her to be champion so bad, but because it's going to be the same way how it was last time. But I think Io Sky has to win this match, so I'm going to have her beat Io and Rhea due to them constantly only focusing on each other. Now, I could see Bianca winning due to her streak, but I don't think her streak is that big of a deal. It's not like The Undertaker, and I don't think it's ever going to be that big to the point where you have to have her go undefeated to finally have her lose. I think this is a perfect time. So I have Io Sky become your new retaining the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. We had a four-way match between for the Intercontinental Championship between Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. This build, for the most part, has been very iffy for me. It's been fine. It's been whatever. This match is, for me, is very predictable. I think Dominic Mysterio is winning. I think they finally pulled the trigger on Dominic Mysterio, him being one of the biggest heels in the company. I think they finally pulled the trigger and put a title on. Now, I know he had the North American Championship, but he's finally going to get a main roster title. And for all you Finn Balor fans, get prepared to cry because he's not winning this match. And he's going to get pinned in this match, and it's going to be by Dominic Mysterio. And what I'm predicting is that Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio are going to turn on Finn Balor. This is the moment where they actually kick him out of the groove. They're going to betray him by Liv Morgan interfering, helping Dominic, and Dominic pin Finn Balor. That's my prediction, because this is probably going to be because it's a fatal four-way. It's going to be a no disqualification. So yeah, I have Liv Morgan interfering in this match, helping Dom, and he's going to be your new Intercontinental Champion. That's how I see it going down. Now we have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. This is one of the feuds that people did not like at first, but people are actually coming around to it, and I like the story. The story is very simple due to Drew McIntyre constantly getting screwed and Damian Priest picking up the straps and benefiting from it. I like the story they've been telling. Now, you could go either way with here, but I think Drew McIntyre is going to win this match due to mainly because he kind of needs this victory. Damian Priest, you could say, needs it too, but I think Damian Priest doesn't really take a big effect on this match. Like, it doesn't hurt him if he loses. Where Drew McIntyre, it kind of hurts him if he loses to Damian Priest. And I love Damian Priest, but it kind of hurts him if he loses this match. But I have Drew McIntyre winning. It is a street fight, and this could possibly be match of the night, potentially. So I think Drew McIntyre will win this match here. As much as I love Damian Priest, but I think Drew McIntyre kind of needs the victory to finally get that big win to really push him further up the card. But I don't know how much further he's going to go up the card, to be honest, especially with John Cena in the picture. I don't know if he's ever going to be in that top main event spot like people want him to, but I have Drew McIntyre winning against Damian Priest. Now we got Randy Orton. He's having a mystery opponent. We don't know who that mystery opponent is. I'm not going to go that in depth on this match because I don't know who he's going to face. Now, there's been rumors of it could be Rusev, Malachi Black, which could be interesting, but the problem with those two is that they're returning. You don't want someone to return and lose, because whoever Randy faces, I'm assuming he's going to win in this match. So the only option I'm coming up with is Solo Sikoa. Now, I know you guys may not want to see that match, but if you're one of those Randy fans who want him to win, you kind of need a person that can afford a loss. And Solo is the person that can afford a loss. So you either take someone that's going to be a boring option, but Randy wins, or someone that's more entertaining, but you risk the fact that Randy could lose. So you got to pick your poison here. But I think Randy is going to win whoever he faces. We just don't know who he's facing. But I'm just going to assume Solo Sikoa will be the one to face Randy Orton in this match. Now we get AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I'm not going to go that in depth on this feud because there isn't a feud. They didn't even try. WWE, Triple H didn't even try with this because they dropped the ball with the whole Braun Breaker versus AJ Styles. So they went to this, and Triple H didn't even try with this feud. AJ Styles is winning. The main thing I'm interested in really is just who's going to be in the Prime Bottle this year. Because every year Logan Paul always has someone in the Prime Bottle. 39, he had KSI. 40, he had IShowSpeed. So who's going to be in it now? I don't know who should be in it. The only person I can think of is Jake Paul or one of his podcast members. That's really it. So I'm interested in that. But I think AJ Styles will win this match. I just don't see a reason why Logan Paul will win. It doesn't make sense for Logan Paul to win, to be honest. Now, if he was a champion, it would make more sense. But in this scenario, I don't see the reason. But I have AJ Styles winning the match. Now we get the Women's Tag Team Championship match between Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. This match was set up last minute. Makes no sense why this is even happening on Mania. This is really only happening because of Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan and Raquel are easily retaining. It makes no sense for Lyra Valkyria to be a double champion with the women IC title because they already came to build mid-card division and they're struggling to build the tag division. You're gonna have her be double champ in two divisions that suck. No, Liv Morgan and Raquel easily should retain this. This should be a banger match. Even though this match shouldn't be on the card, it's going to be a banger match. Now, what they could do is potentially turn Bayley heel, even though I've been against turning Bayley heel because I think that's just stupid, especially because she just, well, I wouldn't say just recently, but just last Mania, she was just a babyface. She only been a babyface for a year, I think. So I don't think they should turn her heel, but you could tell a story between her and Lyra with Bayley being heel, turning on her after the match. So you could tell that story, but I have Liv and Raquel retaining the women's tag team titles. Now we get the main event. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to sound very biased here due to my favorite wrestler of all time, John Cena, but he has to win this match. I'm sorry. I love Cody. Now, I used to be the biggest Cody Rhodes hater, especially when he first returned. I didn't start becoming a Cody fan until the We Want Cody movement, but John Cena needs to win. I'm sorry. Cody had his time. He's been a champ for a year. There's nothing else you could tell a story with Cody outside of Randy Orton. That's the only story left for Cody. There's nothing else for Cody as champion. Cody's run has been solid, but there's nothing else to tell with him. John Cena, there's a lot to tell with John Cena with this heel turn. And it only could get better if you have him as champion. It only makes sense. Now, in this match, I don't want John Cena to play like a babyface John Cena. I want him to be a heel. I want him to do every heel thing. And I actually have a wild prediction. I think The Rock and Travis Scott make an appearance in this WrestleMania, and I think The Rock is going to help John Cena win this match. Now, that could be a wild take because The Rock could be busy making movies or whatever, but that's going to be my prediction. I think John Cena does win. I think he's the only option. I think he has to win. If he doesn't win, this heel turn is pointless. Now, you can tell the story of him losing, then he have a redemption arc of him turning babyface, but you need to have him win because there's nothing else for Cody to do outside of Randy, and I don't see Randy turning heel anytime soon, especially with John Cena being heel. I don't think they're going to have John Cena and Randy be heels at the same time. That just doesn't make sense. But you got Randy be the face and Cena be the heel this time. I think there's just more options with John Cena, so I think he kind of has to win this match. Now, how he wins, who knows? Because I don't see him winning cleanly. That's why I think The Rock will interfere, because Cody don't lose cleanly. He always loses by interferences. So there's going to be some type of shenanigan, whether he does a low. I want John Cena to do everything. Put his foot on the ropes, low blow, attack the ref accidentally. I want him to do all the heel tactics. But John Cena needs to win this match. But you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Let me know your excitement level. Let me know how you feel about WrestleMania 41. Let me know how you think about the card. Leave your predictions down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.